Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara on Monday visited President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja. The meeting is believed to be connected to the recent resolution of the political crisis in Rivers State. Last week, President Tinubu reinstated Governor Fubara, his deputy, and the state assembly members after suspending them in March. The governor has publicly thanked the president for his intervention and also praised former Governor Nyesom Wike for supporting the peace process. The visit follows a period of prolonged political turmoil in the oil-rich state. Well, to help us unpack the significance of Governor Fubara's visit and what it means for the politics of Rivers State going forward is Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
It's a pleasure of me as you.
So what's your interpretation, of this visit to the president and, of course, Governor Fubara's assertion that proper peace has now returned to Rivers State?
I would say all is well that ends well, and that the government has weathered the storm, and that our democracy has proven to be constitutional and democratic. If you look at the crisis, it was both the political, constitutional crisis and how do I put it? That deeply divisive crisis. But the governor and the government, the federal government, they are both weathered it. I'm happy at the ending. And do I need to remind you about what transpired before? This was a lesson in constitutionalism, in spite of what people were saying. I wonder how some people will be feeling now, especially some lawyers who became prosecutor and judge in this case. I think some people should have the guts to apologize.
But Mr. Sobowale,
yes.
Considering the fact that Nigerians are not privy to the peace deal that actually exists between Fubara and his predecessor, how will this peace, and I say this peace with a lot of, with a lot of caution, how will this peace ultimately benefit the people of Rivers State? Because some people believe this is just about one man, just seizing the resources of Rivers State.
You are doubting the peace already. That was how people doubted when Tinubu intervened, that he was trying to seize the state for APC. But see what transpired. It was the Supreme Court that chastised Fubara for sacking the legislature and operating as if he's the sole ruler of the state, whereas we have separation of powers. And they said it was lawless and that there is no rule of law in Rivers State. It was on that note that this president intervened and sent an administrator. Some people were so mischievous, they said he sent a military administrator. You don't send the military administrator in a democratic setting. But now, Fubara himself has said that peace has returned. I haven't read somewhere that he said he has made peace with Wike, what he thought was impossible before. So if the man who was, how do I put it now?
Well, Mr. Sobowale, at what cost? This peace that he has made with Wike, at what cost? Who benefits?
Since you doubt the peace, you may not believe in it. But let us watch events. I've always said it, don't let us jump the gun. The other day, it was Bode John who said Rivers State will become like Western region in the time of Wete. That was alarmist, that was mischievous. Shouldn't come from an elder statesman, and I'm stating that again. So they have even held an election. People said it was a charade, the election would not, please let people be moderate in their language and not be too pessimistic about this Nigeria, and let us follow events with an open mind. That's how the peace works out. It's a theater. It's a political theater, and we are all paid as Nigerians to watch it. Let us watch it and see how it unfolds. Yes.
All right, very well said.
Yes.
So what mechanism do you think can be put in place to prevent future conflict, and promote sustainable peace in Rivers State?
That's right. Governors, not only in Rivers, anywhere, should know the limit of their power. carpet crossing, you get me, should be deterred. Should be deterred. As it is in our constitution and in our political space, it is being done with impunity, and that was what caused the problem there. I don't even yet know how they are going to sort out who is PDP or APC in the assembly. But that is part of the drama that I think will unfold. Fubara has said he has spoken to the president and he has known the things he did wrong, and he will make peace with everybody. Like, you see, I thought it was a miracle. It will be a miracle. But the legislature will assemble. Then you will see where each legislator belongs to. It is then that we can assess and appraise what is going to happen.
So in the meantime, how do you think the governor can build trust, with the people of the state so that they would know that this peace deal ultimately is to their benefit, especially when you consider, a lot of naysayers that are doubting the peace process?
The governor has not lost the trust of the people of the state. It is the problem in the institutional terms between the executive and the legislature. He is the executive. How he cooperates or how he relates with the legislature made up of these legislators, most of who we do not know which party they belong to. But when they come to the house, they will identify the party they belong to. Then you will find a way of working together. I mean, they have always been there for each other. It's not as if they are bringing somebody from Kogi State to her. So they should sort it out. It is politics in action, and constitutionalism has prevailed in this crisis. So let us at least say greetings or say congratulations to this federal government. And I say it from my heart. I don't care what people say. Right.
So finally, Mr. Sobowale, as we look towards 2027, what lessons would you say can be learned regarding the issue of governors, appointing their own successor?
I don't think any governor has done that successfully. You get me? Because invariably, for most governors, towards the end of their second term, they would have known those who are lining up to succeed them. If they even suspect their deputy, you've had problems on that, the deputy is in trouble. So it is politics. You see, politics is about who gets what, when, and how. And power. People seek power for many reasons and for many purposes. Although in Nigeria, I can say boldly that it is the rich who get into power because of the money you need to woo people to your Congress and to woo people to vote for you. So my hope is that governors would have learned from this, that you can't sack the legislature. And they should see, one lesson they should be taught again is that you can't seize the money meant for the local government because you are government, which seems to be what is prevailing now, in spite of the victory of the federal government at the Supreme Court. So the lesson to be learned is that we are running a government, a presidential system that is built on separation of powers.
Mr. Sobowale, unfortunately, we don't have much time, but I would have said it seems you believe all the lessons that should be learned is from the governor's side. What about his predecessor? But unfortunately, we really don't have, Fubara's predecessor. Shouldn't Wike himself have learned a few lessons, from this crisis?
I see you asked me about governor. You didn't ask about Wike.
Okay, so I guess another time I'll ask you about the SCT minister. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Arise News analyst, Mr. Dayo Sobowale.